Hello, and thank you for your interest in Vessel Assess. In this video, I'll share some observations from a recent inspection report. I want to illustrate how important a thorough, well-executed marine survey can be to the safety of a boat and its crew. But first, some background. This survey was for the owners of a 47-foot fast trawler who were planning a huge trip exploring the entire east coast of the U.S. and the Canadian Maritimes. These owners are very experienced and have a well-maintained vessel. They did, however, recognize the value of having a professional assess their boat prior to leaving on this trip. Let me tell you, they were quite surprised when they discovered the findings and recommendations section of the survey was 19 pages long. I'm going to highlight just a few of the items from the report. I think this will illustrate how serious safety issues can be lurking in hidden areas, even on very well-maintained vessels. The first thing I'd like to share is the rudder shaft seal. This is in the lazarette and very difficult to get access to, and this is one of the reasons why it may have been neglected. The first thing you'll notice that there is leaking from two different spots on the top of the shaft seal. The next thing you'll notice is that the seawater is causing the hose clamps to rust quite significantly. So much so you can see that one of these clamps is actually rusted through and has fallen down, and there are signs of where the clamp used to be. And most concerning of all, the only clamp on the bottom holding out seawater is showing definite signs of fatigue. The next item on our list is the hardware that secures the shaft struts to the bottom of the hull. The corrosion on the nuts and in the surrounding areas is quite obvious. But one of the things that isn't obvious and can be very insidious is crevice corrosion on stainless steel hardware. As the sealants break down that were used during construction, it allows seawater to seep through where the fasteners are. The seawater can seep into the space between the bolt and the nuts and become oxygen-starved. When oxygen-starved seawater is in the presence of stainless steel, the stainless steel loses its corrosion-inhibiting ability and begins to corrode very, very quickly. Here's a great example of what crevice corrosion looks like on a stainless steel bolt. This corroded area could be underneath the bolts and hidden from view. The next finding from the survey that I'd like to share with you is a frozen heim joint. This particular heim joint was connecting the hydraulic steering cylinder to the rudder tiller. Corrosion had fused the ball and socket portion of this joint and could lead to catastrophic failure of the steering components. The last thing I want to share helps illustrate how small details are super important. The green arrow is pointing out a stainless steel washer that's placed in between the battery cable lug and the connection point to the battery. This stainless steel washer has much higher resistance than the copper lug used on the cable. This installation practice is prohibited by American Boat and Yacht Council guidelines because this washer can get so hot it will turn purple, it can melt plastic, and there is a risk of fire. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's been informative and helps you better understand the value of a thorough, well-executed marine surveyor. For more information, visit vesselassess.com or email me at michael@vesselassess.com. Thank you very much.